Welcome to the Bite Size Brilliance Podcast. I'm your host, April Darley, and today I want to talk about trust, specifically three different levels of trust that if you don't have, you might be subconsciously sabotaging yourself or creating resistance in your everyday life. So, what I want you to do first is an exercise that I often do with my clients when they feel a little stuck, when they know they have a problem, but they don't quite know how to articulate it or how to share that problem or exactly what it is. So I would ask you to define the word trust to space aliens who had no idea what that word meant. If you had to use that in a definition, and don't use the word trust in your definition, right? Because these are space aliens, they don't know what that means. But just take a second, pause this recording if you need to, and define trust. Okay, so once you've done that, come on back. And then I want you to think about your definition of trust. You hold that in the back of your mind somewhere, and we're going to talk about three different levels of trust. So, when you are having a problem, an issue, a concern, when something is not working out the way that you want it to, or you're even having something like anxiety, fear, depression, some sort of emotional response because of this problem, it is typically because we do not have enough trust in one of three areas. So I'm going to use the word trust, and some people use the word belief. Okay. But number one, the first area is we don't trust ourselves or we don't believe in ourselves. The second area is we don't trust other people or we don't believe other people will do what they need to do, etc. And the third one is we don't trust or believe in what we're doing ourselves. So let's talk about those for a little bit. So, number one, we don't trust ourselves or we don't believe in ourselves. If you are trying to accomplish something, say, for example, you own a business and you have a goal and you're trying to achieve that goal. But if you have a lack of trust or lack of belief in yourself and your ability to create and achieve that goal or thing, then that makes it so much harder. You actually don't believe in yourself to get it done. So, this is where we can have imposter syndrome show up, and you can sabotage your entire goal before you even start if you don't believe or trust that you're the right person to do it. The next one is when we do think we trust or we allow someone else to help us, but then we second guess it. So I see this a lot with people who have acts of service as one of their love languages. If they have asked someone to help them do something like clean the kitchen, they'll sit in the living room and worry the whole time and get anxious about it because they don't actually trust that person to do what they were supposed to do or asked to do. It's like a piece of you doesn't trust that they'll clean the kitchen properly. So what do? You go in there and just take it over. Go, no, 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 never mind. Or you don't even delegate the project at all because you don't even trust them from the beginning to do the right things to help you. Air quotes here, the right things to help you or the right things. So you end up taking more than is your rightful share. You burden yourself subconsciously, and it's because of a lack of trust that someone else knows what they're doing and can get the job done. And the third one is you don't trust or you don't believe in what you're trying to do. And you've probably heard this as out of alignment. So, for example, if you wanted to start a business and it's a snow cone business and you never in your life have made a snow cone, you like them, you like eating them, you like looking at them, and you thought just because I like looking at them and eating at them, that'd make a really great business. But there's a part of you that is acknowledging just like, I'm not sure if I want a snow cone business. I'm not sure if I want to stand on my feet for 8 hours a day in a snow cone business. I'm not sure if I want to run a business because that's a lot of responsibility. It's inventory, it's ordering, it's finding a place to park my snow cone truck. It's a lot of these other actual tasks that your fantasy didn't factor in. So you might not believe in what you're doing, or there's a piece of you that knows that, I know that you like it on this one level, but it's not really a great match for you on this other level. And that will also create a sabotage of hardship. You will create where kind of poverty, your business isn't going to do well because you aren't actually aligned with it. There's a piece of you that doesn't really want it. So, lack of trust in these three areas are really sneaky, and you don't know what you don't know. So, now that you have heard about these three areas of trust, do you trust yourself? Do you trust other people to get the job done? And do you trust and believe in what you're doing? Be real honest with yourself and take a little personal inventory on if you find yourself resistant, procrastinating, hesitating, or afraid, anxious, depressed. Really get into the trust factor. And if you need some help unraveling that, making connections, this is one of my strengths and I love it. I could talk about it forever. And I enjoy really helping people do that is connecting these pieces to help them see what they don't currently see or that they aren't aware of what's out there because awareness is your most powerful tool. You don't know what you don't know, but once you know it, you can't unsee it. And it's what they say, a mind once expanded never contracts. And awareness helps you do that. It helps you develop this growth and expansive mindset. It helps you get into abundance and expansion instead of shrinkage and poverty and scarcity. And you don't want to ignore the stuff because that's not growth, that's shrink. And if you would like to develop that growth mindset, head over to aprildarley.com. You can schedule your free 20-minute phone consultation or jump right in to one of my coaching and advisory one-to-one customized packages. Or please let me know if you have any questions on that. And if you just want to stay in the room with me and keep getting more of these little bite-sized tips, then please join my email list. You can do that over at aprildarley.com as well. And I always advise this stay in the room because you're going to learn so much. Even if you're not ready to work with me yet, even if you don't like, know, and trust me yet, that's okay. Stay in the room. Join the social media over on Instagram and Facebook. It's Dr. April Darley, Dr. April Darley, and get on the mailing list. Stay in the room. Keep listening to this podcast because I promise you, growth is in the palm of your hand. All you have to do is trust yourself to go for it. And I know that you can. I'm wishing you so much love and success. And until next week's, my friends, stay brilliant.